so imagine like you have this crystal ball, and it tells you there are going to be problems with your clinical trial budget.
Oh, wow.
But like before they happen.
Interesting.
That's kind of the power of this predictive analytics thing.
Right.
So we're diving into this guide
Okay.
from the Global Costing Task Force.
Yeah.
They're all about like helping clinical trial financial teams.
I see.
And their whole mission with this thing is basically using data.
Yeah.
To like see budget overruns or, shortfalls coming before you're even really aware of them.
Interesting.
So you can take action right away.
Makes sense.
It's all about being proactive and like using data to make better decisions.
Yeah, I like that.
With your clinical trial money.
So it's like taking the guesswork out of it a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So before we go too far though,
Okay.
like what even is predictive analytics?
Right.
For people who aren't like data scientists or whatever.
Good point.
Could you break that down for us?
It's all about using information you already have to kind of make smart guesses about what's going to happen in the future.
Gotcha.
So imagine taking all the data from past clinical trials.
Like what kind of data are we talking about here?
Well, you've got things like how quickly patients enrolled in the past, the cost of treatments, and even those unexpected things, like if regulations change or something.
I see.
And you feed all that data into a system that can like find patterns. That's basically what predictive analytics is. It uses those patterns to try and like forecast potential issues.
So like it can actually tell you if you're going to have like a budget overrun.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And it can do that based on what it's learned from all those past trials.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
So instead of being totally surprised by like some huge unexpected cost, you could sort of see it coming and maybe even avoid it.
Exactly. That's incredible.
Yeah, the Global Costing Task Force actually found that.
Using this stuff can lead to some pretty big improvements.
Like what?
Well, they highlighted this one case study where a company was using data on how fast patients signed up for a trial.
Oh, interesting.
And they could predict future enrollment rates.
Wow.
And then they used that information in their model. And they actually reduced budget overruns by like 15%.
15%?
Yeah.
It's huge.
It is.
What other benefits did they talk about?
They really emphasize this idea of real-time monitoring. So it's not just about predicting what might happen. It's about actually knowing what is happening right now.
I see.
So picture this. You've got this financial team. They're looking at a dashboard. And it's constantly updating the budget projections.
So it's like always showing them the latest number.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And then if something starts going off track, they get an alert right away.
Oh, wow.
And they can look into it immediately.
That's pretty amazing. It's like having a GPS for your budget.
Exactly.
To make sure you're staying on course.
Yeah, I like that analogy.
It seems like this level of like insight would be just revolutionary for cost control.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, if you can identify and fix those little deviations early on, you can avoid those massive overruns and delays that can happen later.
Makes sense.
And that doesn't just protect your money,
but
it can actually speed up getting those treatments to people who need them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
It is.
So it's not just about like the bottom line. It's about getting those life-saving treatments out there faster.
Exactly.
Okay, but I'm curious.
Sure.
Is it really that simple? I mean,
good question.
Clinical trials are super complex.
They are.
Can you really account for every single variable with this predictive analytics?
You're right.
Yeah.
There will always be those things you just can't predict. It's not about like eliminating risk completely. It's more about minimizing it and giving you the tools to make the best decisions you can based on the data you have.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's not like a magic bullet.
Right.
But it's a really powerful tool
it is.
in your toolbox.
Yeah. And like with any tool, how effective it is depends on how you use it.
Right.
You need the right data, the right models, and probably most importantly, the right people who can understand the insights and act on them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes you think about
what's that?
Like the bigger picture. If this tech can have such a big impact on how we budget for clinical trials, what other areas could it be used for?
That's a great question.
Right.
Yeah. Where else could this level of foresight and control really make a difference?
It's pretty mind-blowing.
It is.
When you think about it.
Yeah.
So we've really just scratched the surface here of this whole world of predictive analytics.
Yeah.
But it's clear that it has the potential to like really transform how we manage clinical trials.
Absolutely.
If you're interested in learning more,
yeah,
definitely check out the source material
right,
from the Global Costing Task Force.
good idea.
They go into way more detail about real-world examples and stuff.
Cool.
And they even give you a roadmap for how to implement these strategies.
That's great.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe you'll be the one to lead the next big breakthrough
That would be awesome.
in data-driven financial management for clinical trials.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.